Hi everyone, my name is Brad LaPlante and I am with the communications team here at IMPART Alliance, and today I am joined with Tam Cordes. You work with IMPART Alliance. Can you just tell me a little bit about your role?
Sure. I am the course coordinator and training program developer. So we have direct care worker classes that people can take to learn about direct care work and how to provide better hands-on and to provide better care for those that they are assisting. So I create the calendar for the trainers and all of the classes and the courses. I have my hands in all things training.
That's great. And as far as I remember, you were telling me that you've worked in similar roles all of your entire career just in training, correct?
I have done a lot of training. I actually started out as a dental hygienist many years ago, but decided that's not what I wanted to do the rest of my life, so I went back to school. And then from there I have had several training roles in different capacities. And I've been a full-time instructor at the American Red Cross. I've been an abuse prevention trainer. And I do train some of the classes that we have here at IMPART as well. So I love training.
No, that's great. And especially, you said abuse prevention trainer. That seems really interesting, and it almost seems like it would relate a lot to what you do at IMPART Alliance. Did that ever prepare you for this role?
Absolutely. Yeah, I have done both child abuse prevention and elder abuse prevention. In my previous role at Michigan Elder Justice Initiative, or MEGI, I was the abuse prevention coordinator. And so I went into nursing homes and trained staff on elder abuse prevention. We had a really good program that we did that. And so when I heard about IMPART Alliance and kind of just made the connections, kind of the rest is history. So that role prepared me very well for this role.
And tell me about elder abuse, because when elder abuse comes up, people usually think of, you think of abuse. I guess I hear that it's a lot of financial stuff. But what is it exactly? And just tell me a little bit more about it.
Well, it can be any kind of maltreatment. It can be abuse, neglect, exploitation. You think of scams. A lot of older people live alone. A lot of them are very vulnerable to abuse. And I can't remember the statistics, maybe 1 in 10 incidents get reported. So it's a really very serious thing. It happens in homes. It happens in, resident facilities. It can happen anywhere. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, I remember I lived with my grandpa for several years, mm-hmm. and he almost got entrapped into one of those scams. And
mm-hmm.
You see firsthand, and you almost like hear about some of those things happening, and you don't believe them because they're so obtuse and just like out there and over the top. Yeah. But then if you live with somebody who witnessed it, yeah. then that is it becomes almost all the more real.
It is, and it can happen to the smartest people. It isn't. I mean, anybody can get themselves kind of tangled up in that too. So it is.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm so passionate about prevention, is that really getting the word out and what are some things that we can do to prevent some of these things.
And as far as the courses go for direct care workers and trying to ensure that the best people are getting the best training, mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about the courses that you help coordinate.
Sure. We have 4 stackable levels 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they build on each other. So the level 1 is, it has 12 classes in it. They're foundational, direct care worker. Direct care worker is kind of an umbrella for, personal care assistant and other nurse aide and things like that, terms that you hear. But so there are things like, we have classes like professional boundaries, person-centered relationships, medical emergencies and things like that. So that's kind of the foundation. Level 2 is kind of building on those. So we have introduction to trauma, introduction to dementia, and I'm drawing a blank at the other ones right now. In level 3 we have only 6 classes that are primarily focused on activities of daily living, or ADLs. So we have grocery shopping and meal prep and cleaning and things like that. And then level 4 is really, we have 20 classes and 3 different labs. All of the classes are virtual. We do have 3 hands-on labs, and we're going to be piloting those very soon. In another couple of months, we're going to be piloting level 4 classes, so we're really excited about that. And so there's a lot going on, and there's so many opportunities for. I'm a lifelong learner, right? So this is really exciting for me to be able to offer these classes to help people who are interested in caring for others, to provide the best care possible to them.
Absolutely. And I hear this word person-centered thrown around a lot when it comes to taking care of somebody. What does that entail, and what does that mean?
I think maybe the best way to sum it up is, we've heard of the golden rule, which is treat others the way you want to be treated. Well, person-centered is what we call the platinum rule, which is treat others the way they want to be treated. So if you're caring for somebody in their home, you want to make sure that they have a choice and a voice when they're making any kind of decisions or choices. As a caregiver, you're a guest in their home, right? So you want to be able to make sure that you're providing the care that they want. And it might not be something that you agree with. Maybe they're not eating something that you think is healthy, but they want to eat it. So that's an example of person-centered care. And building those relationships with people is person-centered. So you're building that trust in that person.
Yeah, and I remember a partner at IMPART Alliance was talking about her direct care worker, and was talking about how they're almost a fly on the wall, sort of, right? And that's the way that they prefer it, right? Is that they want their direct care worker to be there, but there when they need them, but not too intrusive or too invasive, right? And that's much different, right, from something like a group home or a care facility where there might be scheduled breaks, or there's a schedule. You think about someone at a nursing home, I would imagine, right, being told what to do, when to, and we've all had family members, I'm sure, that have gone to facilities like that and have absolutely, for the lack of a better term, just not enjoyed it at all, because it's so the opposite of that. Yeah.
And so no matter where that person is, they should be receiving person-centered care, whether it's in a nursing home or a home for the aged, or an adult foster care home, or in their own home. They should be receiving that. So maybe that caregiver has gotten the message that they need to be that fly on the wall, and they need to just kind of be there to provide the care, but that person doesn't really want them as involved. But maybe the opposite is true too, and maybe that person really does want to build a relationship, especially if they don't have family or other people coming to see them. So really kind of getting to know what that person wants and desires is important in person-centered care.
Why do you do this work every day?
So many answers to that. As I said, I'm a lifelong learner, so anything that I can have my hands in that relates to training of all ages is important to me. And having been an unpaid family caregiver before, I understand to a point the role and the challenges, the frustrations, but the rewards too that come with direct caregiving. And there's so much that needs to happen in a positive. We're working at IMPART. We're trying to move things in a positive direction for direct care workers. And so to be a part of work that's important and it's valuable and it's meaningful, it makes it easy to come to work every day.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Tam, for joining me today.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and it has been great. And tune in next month for another episode of the IMPART Alliance podcast.